Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show you a little mic called the Comica VM-40. This is probably one of the most convenient pieces of gear that I've ever bought for filmmaking, especially within the sound department. And when I bought it, it almost totally replaced the other mic that I was using at the time. In this video, I briefly want to show you what this mic does, why it's so great. I want to compare it with a couple other microphones that I have. I want to give you examples of how I've used it, and then share with you a few improvements that I think could be made in later models. And if you're interested in buying this microphone for yourself after this video, I do have an affiliate link down below so you can check it out for yourself. So what is so special about this mic? Well, first off, it has 32 gigabytes of storage built inside of it, as well as a USB-C rechargeable battery built in. So if I wanted to, I could record with just this and get almost 40 hours of audio. It also records 32-bit float, so you're going to have a hard time peaking the audio. And my favorite aspect about this mic is that it wirelessly transmits to this receiver, which goes onto your camera, so you can get boom audio directly to your camera, and all of this only costs $250. It also comes in this nice little case, along with 2 windscreens, a shock mount, a mic stand mount, cables, and this receiver. And I'm not just reviewing this mic just to have another video on the channel. I honestly really love this mic for what it does, and I just wanted to share it with you in case you are looking to buy something like this. Originally, I wasn't in the market to buy another microphone. At the time, I was using the Rode NTG2, which I'm actually using right now, into a Zoom F3 or a Tascam recorder. But that setup is just a little bit clunkier just because there's more pieces involved and there's cables and it requires batteries. But after buying this, I almost never use my Rode mic anymore, except for now, because this mic is smaller and it's lighter and it gathers audio that's almost just as good. With it, you just need a stand and to put this receiver on your camera, and you're good to go. And because it's wireless, you could put it on a small handle or a tripod and you'd have an interview or a little podcast microphone. The internal battery on this thing is also one of my favorite features. I know it's pretty common for shotgun mics to have batteries inside of them, but sometimes you have to swap them out, and with this I can charge it and then it's ready to go for hours. Comica says that the battery life will last for 10 hours if you are wirelessly recording with this, if this is going into the receiver into your camera. And they say that if you have this just on your camera going straight in, you'll get 32 hours. I think a lot of people aren't finding that amount of time, but still it's really impressive. Comica also sells a 2-pack, so you'll get 2 shotgun microphones, and then both of them will go into one receiver into your camera. And if you already have maybe a lav mic plugged into your camera and you still want to record with one of these, the receiver does plug in to a lot of external recorders if you have that input, so you can still use this and the lav mic at the same time. And it also comes with an app, which is pretty cool. I haven't used it a ton, but when I have used it, it has worked pretty well. And within the app, you can also change if there are any denoising features on the microphone. Usually, I leave those settings off, but it is nice to know in case you need it. And now let me give you some examples of how I've used this mic in the past and how I am currently using it. Firstly, and most often, I have used it for almost all of my recent YouTube videos. I just throw this on a stand above me, I put the receiver on my camera, and I'm all good to go. I've used it for work interviews too, and it has worked great. For backup audio, you can also record internally into the mic while also sending the feed to your camera, so you'll have 2 copies of the same audio feed. Sometimes I use it for scratch or backup audio, sometimes on my camera, and sometimes hiding off screen. One time I was recording a wedding and I couldn't at the time plug into the soundboard, so all I had was the lav mics and this mic. So what I ended up doing is I turned on the internal recording and clamped it to a tree, which was next to the speakers. So then if I really needed to, which I didn't in the end, I could record what was coming out of the speakers and then get some backup audio with the ceremony music. And I haven't tried this yet, but you can totally put this on a boom pole for a short film or a documentary or something like that, especially if your budget for sound is really low. Now let's test the Comica next to a couple more mics in a more controlled environment, and then we'll go outside so we can see what they sound like with a lot of background noise and outside ambience. So right now you are hearing the Rode NTG2 in a controlled studio environment, and now you are hearing the Comica VM-40 in a controlled studio environment. And now you are hearing the Rode Wireless Go in a controlled studio environment. Something I have noticed with the NTG2 is that the sound is a little bit cleaner and more rich, while the VM-40 is a little bit heavier and has more bass in it, but both of those qualities are changeable in post. But that is something to note, is the sound quality is a little bit different, but not enough to be distracted by. And now let's do a little bit of room tone. Keep in mind there are 3 lights in here that have some fan noise, so you may hear that. Alrighty, so here we are in an outdoor test. This is the Rode NTG2 in an outdoor setting, and we also have the Comica VM-40 right next to it, also in an outdoor scenario, and we have the Rode Wireless Go lavalier microphone in an outdoor scenario. Okay, let's just do a brief pickup pattern test. I'm going to move out of the way of the Rode NTG2, still moving out of the way of the Rode NTG2, back through and away from the Rode NTG2, and right back under. And now the Comica VM-40, we're going to move out of the way of the Comica VM-40, still out of the way of the Comica VM-40, and right back away and into the VM-40 range. I want to welcome my guest star, the pickup truck. Now I want to do a brief wireless signal range test with the Comica. It does pretty well within line of sight from the receiver. If I'm to turn around, if I walk too far that way, it does start cutting out. It shouldn't cut out right now. I think it's too close to cut out. But if you're walking around, you're interviewing people, you're gathering sounds, or it's a wedding and you need to get audio that is too far away from maybe one of your lav mics, this is a great option. I think once I turn around now, it will start cutting out and we may run into some issues. But I'll let you know, get too far away. But that's a pretty good range for a wireless boom setup. Now, I don't think this mic is perfect. I think there could be some improvements made, but also this mic is only 250 bucks. And if all the improvements that I'm about to list off were made, I think that this would be in the 400 range at least. The dead cat that it comes with isn't amazing. It works decently for what it needs to, but I have used it in a decent breeze and wind was still coming through quite a bit. So I think if you do find yourself in windy scenarios, upgrading to another dead cat is probably good. And I do wish it had a XLR input. Sometimes I find myself wanting to use both my Rode mic and this through an external recorder, but because this doesn't have one, I usually have to put the receiver on my camera. And as you notice from the outdoor test, the range on this isn't magical, but within line of sight, it works just great. And I kind of wish the case were a little bit smaller and there were only one compartment to open. Sometimes it gets a little bit clunky opening one and then flipping it over and then undoing the other one. I wish that you could just open the one compartment and all of your things were on either side of the case. And the last thing about this mic that I think can be improved is the real-time preview of the levels on both the receiver and the microphone. Obviously, you get a better preview on recorders such as the Zoom F3 or a Tascam or something like that, but the little screen preview that shows up here isn't very accurate to what is actually being said on the mic. So yes, it does have some cons, but this mic is still really great for its value. I don't think you can get a mic that's this good at so many things for 250 bucks. But that's all I have for you today. If you did like the video, go ahead and do like it. It does help me out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.